I'm talking about, I saw people being beaten up for not, being religious and dressing appropriately in religious attire. Also, I'm not just talking about violence against women, but also against young men, for not wearing having a beard. Like you're meant to in Islam, it's recommended you have a beard as a man, because that's what the Prophet did. So you kind of follow in his footsteps. So, that was the level of violence. You couldn't leave the house without a male chaperone. And why should a woman leave unless it's an emergency, So you are kind of hidden you're hidden actually from the world, you're veiled. Literally, the veil is not just covering your body, but it's a veil from the world. And those are the small things. And it also goes to domestic violence.
And you said that girls were obviously kept isolated at home. And I guess my first thought was that sounds really unhealthy. Like that you mustn't get much exercise or sunshine or...
Unhealthy in many regards. And not just about physical health, but also mental health. Because you are isolated from mixing with other genders, and you are, spending the entire time with your family. Imagine now during lockdown being locked up.
I know.
I mean, this is a privilege, but you would go insane, So imagine the impact it has on kids, where you don't know how to read, so you cannot even be busy that way. You cannot really. You don't have TV, other than religious TV or radio, and that's it. So you don't have a normal childhood, and it does impact you. It keeps you very, full of fear, anxiety, and that's why there are a lot of mental health problems, And when you have refugees coming to Europe, you have to do a lot in order to help integrate them, because, you're dealing with damaged souls.
The not reading thing, I guess I was a bit ignorant to, but I can't imagine how it must be to not be able to read. Like, is the woman expected to do shopping, for example? And if she can't read, how do you do it? Like, just basic things.
You just do it without knowing how to read. Like, you know what you want to buy. And it's not like you're shopping on the internet, you go to the bazaar and okay, you want some onions. You might learn how to calculate that way. Some people learn that way with practice. But still you didn't have an education. So you see the holes in the knowledge. So a lot of the things that people know is through practice. You know what you want to buy, how many kilos, how much it will cost you if you get a certain number of certain kilos of potatoes, for example. So those kind of things women do know, is because they had no other choice. You kind of adapt to the situation.
Yeah.
But you're not reading a shopping list. You don't have a shopping list. You don't get a receipt.
But just remembering what you need to buy. You just have to do it all in your head.
Yeah, you have to do it all in your head. And I remember as a kid when I had to go shopping with my grandma, and I was told, okay, you make sure to get this, and I made a mistake. So instead of getting meat, I got intestines.
Brilliant.
So I had a bag full of intestines that I bought, and me and guests, and I was told, okay, what are we going to do with intestines? But because I couldn't remember what exactly was needed, and that was as a child. So you can imagine how it feels for women more experienced.
Yeah. And how common was it to actually beat people? You said you were surrounded by violence, but is it any more than, say, I don't know, like a drunken part of a city centre in England? They tend to be quite violent on a Friday or Saturday night, or is it?
Yeah, I think
a daily occurrence, or is
it's
it
a daily
like
occurrence? I mean, the thing with the rowdy football fans in the UK, they're under the influence of beer, and you still have protection. It's not like everybody else is like, oh my God, I'm fearing for my life. They're like, oh, these idiots again. You know, that's the kind of feeling you have, and you call the police and they're taken away. And of course you keep your distance, but you can call somebody, you know.
Yeah.
There, the people causing the violence is running the country. So who are you going to call, you know? And you're afraid, do you want your hand chopped off or not? So it's like people will still steal. So this whole thing about preventing violence by being violent. So if they say, if you're violent and you steal, we will chop off your hands to prevent people from stealing. But it doesn't prevent, because people will still steal. And there is only a fear mechanism, you know, to instill fear and make people afraid of going out, and in order to make them follow and obey and be obedient and submissive. But it's like a daily occurrence. It's like from what you can sell in your shop to what you can listen to, how you can dress. So it's all aspect of your life. You walk on the street, and if they don't like you, let's say you have the wrong guy on the street with a baseball bat or a cane or an AK-47, like,
as you do,
just eye contact alone might cause him to stop you and then get aggressive, you know? So it's like you're afraid. So violence, it's not like I'm saying that they're going around shooting everyone, but there's enough there are enough deaths that you see. And it starts with mental terror, you know, and that's the strongest.
Yeah, it does sound, I've been in situations where you feel intimidated, and, you know, it lasts for maybe a few minutes.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having that feeling throughout the day or the week or the year. It's just incomprehensible to me, really. I think to a lot of people.
And you just try to enjoy and living in the moment, you know. As you say, if it goes away, but you're kind of constantly confronted with it, and you kind of accept it, and you try to, you will still see kids laughing and playing and having fun, even though they have literally nothing.